I dribbled all down the front of me. Hello, welcome. Today I have seven, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 super simple freezer meals for you because I hate cooking. And last time I was postpartum, it was horrible. So we're starting off with a fairly fresh, clean kitchen, which, who am I? When do I ever have a clean kitchen? We've got green curry, which I know you've seen me make, so I'll kind of whip through that. Got minestrone soup. It's soup, but like I add a lot to it, so it's not really soup. Shepherd's pie, basic shepherd's pie. Smoothie, apple crumble, because I guess that's not really dinner, but you know. And chicken Alfredo. I don't think I'm gonna get to the chicken Alfredo today, but I will link it down below. And these are all gluten-free, dairy-free, because ain't nobody want to be dealing with that postpartum. I mean, there's enough going on down there. So let's get straight into it. I don't even know where to start. Okay, first off the block we have minestrone soup. I've made a few changes to the recipe. I'll link down below. Starting over here, you're gonna need some Italian herbs, cracked pepper, salt, always, bay leaves, zucchini. My carrots apparently went all bad in the fridge in less than a week. Anyway, I'm just gonna substitute that for this so I can use my carrots for something else. And I hate celery, so that's why I'm using this kind of garden mix. The recipe asked for green beans. This has green beans in it. We've got zucchini. I don't have baby spinach because I don't think spinach would do well being cooked then frozen and then cooked again. I think it'll just wilter and be gross. I've got some onion, which I prepared earlier. Diced Italian tomatoes. Just calls for red kidney beans, but I want to do white beans as well. I told you I like to bulk this up. Garlic. I'm just using minced garlic because really I've got so many recipes to get through today. Chicken stock and vegetable oil. You can use olive oil or whatever you choose. I just prefer vegetable oil. Okay, take 2. We've got some oil. This is supposed to be over medium heat. Put it on 6 for now. Then onion, half an onion. I'm gonna just say, is that half an onion? Meh. I should know how much I chopped up, right? Some garlic. Maybe a bit more, huh? Because I'm feeling generous. Carrots and celery. I'm just gonna do all of it. Probably, what's that? 2.5 cups? Maybe a bit more. We're just guessing here. No real reasoning. This is just kind of like a dump and go recipe. Should I have browned off the onions first? Yeah. Am I going to pick all these vegetables out? Absolutely not. Alright, now that we've got some heat going, I'll just turn it down just a little bit again. And I'm just gonna slightly defrost these. Not a whole lot because it's gonna keep cooking later, if that makes sense. So I'm only just gonna do this for like, maybe, yeah, I'd say they're still partly frozen. Just 1 can of red kidney beans. Kidney beans. Diced tomatoes. This is probably one of my favorite vegetarian meatless meals because I'm not a big fan of eating. 1.5 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, 1 bay leaf, salt and pepper. So this is one of my favorite dishes too. I don't have veggie stock, I'm just gonna use chicken stock. And 4 cups of that. 4 cups is just one of these, if you didn't know. Give that a really good mix. Like I was saying, yeah, it's one of my favorite vegetable-based meatless meals. And we're just gonna bring that to the simmer, just because sometimes I hate eating meat at night. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm the only one like that, but I really just don't eat a ton of meat, full stop. So this is a great meal for me. And then we'll come back and do the rest. Okay, so next up we're gonna do shepherd's pie, but I think while I'm here, I'm gonna just do all the vegetable prep. So we'll just get my curry stuff together. Just 1 capsicum, 1 zucchini, and 2 carrots. You can totally just mix it up. I've seen some restaurants do broccoli or snow peas or whatever. This is my preferred combination. And I'm also going to do the potatoes. Recipes normally say pound, which is about ½ a kilo. So I don't know, I always guess. And I either have too much and we just eat it with other stuff, or I don't have enough. So I lied, the recipe wants 2 to 2.5 pounds, which is pretty much what I've got. What, dang. Babies or something. Is that not like the weirdest thing you've ever seen? Yeah.
Young, and we didn't want to be exposed. Even though it was cold, we were never wearing proper clothes. Always trying to be cool, trying to be those bad guys.
So I'll be doing the shepherd's pie in a minute, and it normally has fresh carrots, but you heard my dilemma about the fresh carrots. Oh, my life, right? And I hate celery. You heard that argument. So we're just going to be using a premix, because I actually really like it having vegetables in it, which is it normally doesn't have a lot, but I prefer it that way. And you just gotta do what you gotta do. So I was like comparing my last pregnancy to this one, and you know what? I didn't think there was that much difference between the two, but there really is. Especially towards the end. Like I know I was sick completely for the first trimester and a bit with both. That's definitely nothing new, and it's not going away. But this time around, towards the end of my pregnancy, it's been so different. The end of my pregnancy, hold on, I made a list because it is so different. Okay, so each pregnancy I have had heart racing issues. My PB for the highest heart rate would have to be 168, I think it was. Let me tell you, and I wasn't even doing anything. So, you know. So 168, that's almost racehorse speed. But I had that in both, and I've had it checked out, and apparently it's nothing to worry about. Hopefully. Swollen legs, you know what? I don't know if that's something that's gonna come a bit later, because at the moment I don't have swollen legs, and I'm really enjoying it because I love my life in what are they called? Sandals? Not sandals, slippers, which I think are like flip-flops in America, because literally my feet fit in absolutely nothing. They were that swollen, and at the moment, you know, at the moment they're not too bad, which I'm very grateful for, because they get kind of painful. The carpal tunnel, so bad. I didn't even know you could get carpal tunnel in pregnancy, and I haven't gotten it, and I feel like I got it earlier with my son, but the carpal tunnel this time around hasn't really happened yet, so maybe I'll get it later. But I just remember having constant tingling in my hands, and just like I'd wake up in the middle of the night and have just like my wrists would just be aching, and there was nothing I could do about it. And then leg cramps, my goodness. Let me tell you, leg cramps, same thing. I would wake up in the middle of the night because I've stretched my leg and somehow cause the most excruciating pain. And it's only ever happened when I'm pregnant. Oh, and speaking of legs, my nose, you guys, oh, so congested. This is just like a rant of everything that's been going wrong with me. Anyway, let's just stop talking and speed through this.
Always trying to be cool, trying to be those bad guys, you know. I still think about what we had when we were younger. We were never running out of time. As long as we had each other, oh, everything was black and white. Driving in a car, never knowing how far we go. When we were younger, when we were younger, I remember a girl.
Alright, oh my gosh. Smells so aromatic. Smells good. Come on, get in there. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna turn it back down again, probably to 5. I just brought it to the simmer. It's probably only been simmering like 4 or 5 minutes. And I'm just gonna throw in the last of this pasta. And we're not gonna cook it all the way, probably 5 minutes. And then when we reheat it after it's, whenever we use it, it'll finish cooking it, if that makes sense. I'm gonna add the zucchini in like last minute, because we do not want that soggy and gross. So let's head on back over to the potatoes because they are done. Throw all the potatoes in here. I prefer to do them while they're still warm so that you can, so the butter melts. So let's go in with salt, butter. I'm using this butter. You can use whatever alternative you like. I'm going with that much. Oh my gosh, I'm not even showing you. I'm going with like double that, basically. And then some almond milk. Use whatever alternative you like. Almond milk does have a slight taste to it in the potatoes. Nothing crazy, but it's definitely noticeable. If you don't want to taste anything, I would suggest maybe oat milk, or even, oh my god, what's the word? Oat milk or rice milk, anything else. I'm gonna give this a really quick mix. So this is probably the best I'm gonna get with a hand masher, but I have heard that KitchenAid makes wonderful pillow soft mashed potatoes, and wouldn't that just be the dream? One day. Timer went off for the minestrone, and now I've just taken off the heat, thrown in the zucchini. And then I'm going to transfer it into a very sad looking tray. Also, if you use fresh vegetables, it would totally hold its color a lot better, but that's preference, you know, do whatever makes you happy. All right, we are running out of space, so we are over here. Let's say shepherd's pie. Again, there's some substitutions in here because I did not have tomato paste. So if you have tomato paste, add that. Bay leaves and thyme, both picked freshly from my garden. Salt, pepper, that's up to you. Garlic, again, just want to use this one up. Stock, peas and corn. This recipe says carrot, celery and something else, but I talked about that earlier. Tomatoes, use diced. I just have cherry Italian tomatoes that I need to use up. It wants 1 beef bouillon cube. I don't have beef cubes, but I do have powder, so we'll just make do with what we've got. Some beef mince here, 500 grams. Some Worcestershire sauce. This stuff is my favorite, my absolute favorite. Again, check that that is gluten-free, and just some gluten-free flour. I'm just going in with a little bit of oil in the bottom of the pan, about 2 dollops of minced garlic, and just the rest of that onion that I chopped up earlier, and browning it all off. And then I'm going to throw in the 2 lots of beef mince, and I'm going to start to just brown that all off. You can't see anything at the moment. I'm pretty sure my microphone was just off, but I've just browned off the beef. I really didn't do too much. Okay, because I'm using frozen vegetables, I just gave them a quick rinse and then, excuse me, drain them so that there's just less water and stuff in there. Mix that through. And I don't know, I'd say that's about 1.5 cups of vegetables. Really wouldn't know. 1/4 cup, maybe a tiny bit more. So I've just kind of cooked off the flour taste, and now we're gonna add in those sort of more dry ingredients. So this isn't dry, but diced tomatoes. I'm using cherry because that's all I got. Tomato paste if you have it. Beef stock. It says 1 3/4. It wants 1 3/4. Well, beef stock, but like, what am I gonna do with the rest of this? This is 2 cups, so beef bouillon cube. I don't really have. Sprinkle some beef stock in there. Now for the flavor makers, we're gonna put in 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. I just kind of guess that'll be maybe a bit more. 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. That's probably way more than that. And maybe just, I'll go 2 small. It says 3 bay leaves, but I'm gonna do 2 small bay leaves because I kind of went overboard on all the other stuff. Just gonna give it like a really good mix, and then continue popping these dang cherries. Probably put a tiny bit more flour in and then drain it off. Actually, I'll do that now. Probably like that much. And then you're just gonna rapidly bring it to a simmer and then cook for 25 to 35 minutes on medium heat. After that, if it's still not like a gravy kind of thick texture, then we'll take the excess moisture out. All right, so it's been 25 minutes. I'm gonna just drain the rest of this sauce and then just divide this up. Okay, so since I've been through this green curry dish with you before, I'm just gonna quickly get it done kind of thing. We'll just whiz through it really quick because ain't no hanging around. My hips are hurting. I'm just gonna quickly throw some oil in my chicken. I've got it on high, so I'm just gonna brown off my chicken. I'm just gonna quickly drain this chicken that we've browned off for the green curry. Alright, just throw in the carrots after this is simmered for a few minutes. And I then just let the carrots cook for 5 to 7 minutes, I'd say, roughly. I just kind of guess.
And here's where I forgot that I needed to actually film. So I just then throw in the capsicum and I let that cook for 5 minutes, not too long, and throw in the zucchini once everything's finished.
Okay, so these are my fairly simple smoothies. Normally I would not kind of meal prep smoothies because I think it takes you like 2 minutes to put it together. But that's not my journey. This time I want to try prepping them. You need Ziploc bags, some peaches. I'm using, this is just frozen canned peaches. They didn't have regular frozen peaches, which is what I'd buy, but so we just made some of our own. So I'm just gonna go with 6. This is kind of what I would do for my, just like a basic recipe. We're just going in with some rolled oats. Don't use quick, do not use quick oats. I'm gonna put about 1 of these in each bag. It's not quite a cup. This isn't actually a cup measurement. And ooh, that's probably a lot. Hold on. Probably that much. So maybe that much. It's probably about just over a 1/4 cup. And one of these smoothies will feed Zayden and I. We normally share our smoothie. Next up, we will go in with the spinach. We're gonna go in with like a big handful of spinach. Oh my god, making a mess. Maybe like 1 handful of spinach. I know this seems like a fairly simple thing to kind of be sharing on a recipe, but what, like standing up last time when I was pregnant, when I was postpartum, excruciating. So like the thought of having to do this sort of while trying to balance 2 children, not fun. So, and hubby is not off for as long this time. He wasn't able to get as much time off this round, so it just means that, you know, instead of having kids screaming at me, 2 kids screaming at me for food, you know, for like however long it takes me to make cereal, hopefully having this will help me adjust. I'm going to put half a banana in each one. Frozen peach concoction. So Over here is the juice and here is the actual peaches. I normally prefer to get frozen peaches just because it means, you know, the juice is just kind of like sugar basically. But I wasn't going to waste perfectly good juice, so let's just chuck some of these in.
Need to feel lonely. I am finally home at last. And I don't mind being gone on adventures for a while. No, no.
Lucky us, just some good mango. Like a little handful of mango because we went heavy on the peaches. And now we're done. I mean, come on, that looks good. My back is aching, my hips are aching, my stomach is rumbling, but we're down to the final dish, the one that we've all been waiting for, the dessert. Let me get the ingredients and come back. Try not to eat as I'm cooking it.
So I was going to voice over this whole recipe for you. It is a Donna Hay recipe, but as you can hear, my voice is like just gets harder and harder to understand with this heavy breathing. So I'll put the instructions on the screen and I'll link it in the description.
We used to be fun. You used to care. Darling, we built a home, a life. But now all of that is gone, I fear, my dear. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm leaving the light on if you come back around. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm holding on until forever I will fight, but you drift away. Hold tight, I can save you from these deep black waters, pull you in while you drift away. Hold tight, I can save you from these deep black waters, pull you in while you drift away. Yeah, you drift away. Yeah, we used to laugh. You were all that I had, so I gave you my all. But now all of that is gone, I feel. You know all of that is gone, my dear. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm leaving the light on if you come back around. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm holding on until forever I will fight, but you drift away. Hold tight, I can save you from these deep black waters, pull you in while you drift away. Hold tight, I can save you from these deep black waters, pull you in while you drift away. Yeah, you drift away. Ooh, 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 ooh.
I only had enough to make
I'm holding on until forever I
before I
will
run out of space with
fight.
potatoes.
Drift
So I'll layer that one once this has been in the fridge
I can
for a
save you
while.
from this deep
And the
black
leftovers,
waters.
yeah, I made another one for Zayden and I to share somehow, and I'll just put a potato
I
here.
can save you from this deep
Again,